It said that she can talk to the world's most important people and not blink. She is an anchor, an interviewer, and a sharp speaker. That version took years of careful, painful work to make. Annie said that the building process wasn't pretty either. At times, Savannah had a lot of doubts about herself and everything she did. Things that happened behind closed doors that were never shown in an interview, story, or morning show. Right there is where Annie's story starts to get tricky. Because what she told wasn't just about hard times. It was about something a lot more clear. Things that took place when Savannah was almost ready to become the person she is now. This is a moment that no one talks about. Before Savannah Guthrie was on the Today Show and in all the big interviews, she worked as a lawyer. She had real cases, real clients, and real pressure. She put in a lot of work to get her law degree there. She met the requirement. She worked hard and did a good job. She knew deep down that something was missing though. That way, you can say things to yourself that you're not yet ready to say out loud. She had made a good living and had a steady job, the kind of job that makes. Parents would be proud of you if you quit your job because people would think you've lost your mind. She started to walk away from it after that. She started out slowly and quietly, testing the waters of something that seemed risky and unclear, very different from the path she'd been on as a journalist. Here's what Annie had to say about this time. And this is the part that really shocked people. Savannah almost didn't do it, she said. There was no reason she didn't do it. She was scared. The kind of scared that won't let you sleep. The kind that makes you wonder if the better choice is the road that is safer. She stood to lose something. Real qualifications and a real name. Being a lawyer wasn't just a job. She worked on it for years to find out how she saw herself. To let go of that and go into the unknown. That's not a goal. That's brave. And courage any reason to tell everyone that fear comes first. At this point in time, the two sisters had a certain talk. A call late at night. Savannah was having a lot of doubts about herself. She meant to be safe, stay where she was, and be reasonable. Then Annie told her something simple that sounds small but was really quite important. But before we talk about what was said, you need to know what was really at stake. When that talk took place is very important because it changes everything. What took place? Changes in career and problems. Savannah wasn't just choosing a job path when she was at that point where she had to choose between law and journalism. She was building a life. The choice. And choices have effects on the rest of your life. She was no longer a child because she was in her late 20s. Old enough to know that it's not romantic to start over. It's wearing me out. It costs a lot. It's lonely in a way that only people who've been there can understand. She had Georgetown loans for school. She had a good name in her field. She was thinking about taking something apart after she had built it. Why? Just a chance? To have a feeling? Not Annie, but the people around her. But some of them warned her to be careful. Some of them told her in a quiet voice that she was wrong. That's what makes the clip fake. The people who almost stopped Savannah Guthrie from becoming Savannah Guthrie aren't talked about, but Annie did because she was there. She heard what they were saying. She saw her sister take that doubt from people she believed in and start to think about things in the same way. After that, something happened that changed everything. Not a big chance or a success, but something smaller than that. A moment of understanding that came from somewhere completely out of the blue. Not from a mentor, a business contact, or an inspiring event. It came from sadness and loss. When Savannah saw something again, it made her think of her father at that time. Annie hasn't said what it was yet. That particular piece has been kept secret by her, and that privacy should be observed. No matter what it was, she said it made Savannah remember that life isn't a practice run and that waiting for the perfect time is just another way to be scared. And something opened. What did happen after that, though? In the weeks and months that followed, things got a lot worse than expected. Savannah took the big step when she quit her job as a lawyer and became a reporter. It didn't happen overnight, either. People who are successful, polished, and at the top of their field, like Savannah Guthrie, tend to skip over the main part of the story. Let's be clear about that. Most people give up in the middle. She began her career in local news in small towns, where she had to do all the work herself, including writing and reporting. Sometimes you have to hold the camera yourself. This is the kind of work where the pay is low and the hours are long, and you go home thinking if you made the right choice. You pay close attention to this time period. She also says it was harder than Savannah ever said in public. There were times when Savannah was so worn out that she was beyond tired. When I was turned down for a job, it hurt more than I thought it would. At times, she felt hurt when she thought about how her progress compared to that of her old law colleagues who were making steady, easy progress. Self-doubt doesn't go away just because you did something brave. However, Annie also noticed this during this time. There was a difference between how Savannah dealt with those tough times before and now. She was still scared, but not as much as her sister, who used to let fear steer her. She kept going though. That person is not the same as the one she was even 2 years ago. People at the small stations where she worked also picked up on something. Something about how she walked when she was being filmed. How she talked to people. After Hollywood, how life is now.